All right, hello everybody. How's it going? Just gotta make sure my mic is on and everything like that. Welcome back to another episode of the roleplay campaign for Roguetech. Tonight we are going to be doing a couple of missions, but first, a quick recap of what's going on in Storium. So, with the new format that we talked about in last week's episode, we decided to change things up just a little bit as far as this Storium game goes and what the kind of format and pacing of that was going to be. It was a little bit too slow previously, so I introduced kind of a meta narrative, kind of an overarching plot line that we're going to be following. So the general idea is that we are moving towards an end goal, which has not yet been introduced to the story specifically. But we're starting off with the Argo being the victim of some sabotage. And so we've got a few people investigating that. The character Bex, who is the security chief, is looking into it, as well as the one of the engineers for the Argo. Her name is Val. She's working with the quartermaster, Corwin, and they're looking into it at the moment. Let's see. We've also got Xander, who is one of the mech techs, and I don't know that he's directly involved in the investigation, but he was at least talking with Bex about it. So we're getting some of the crew members a little bit more involved on the back end or on the story side of things. The pilots are still doing their stuff. We're going to start tying their individual plot lines into the larger story as well. In fact, I've already got a couple of characters that are going to get tied into the sabotage storyline. We're just kind of waiting until it gets to the point where that's revealed. So, the current state of the investigation is that Val and Corwin discovered that there is some sort of sabotage going on with the Argo's water supply. There's some sort of caustic or corrosive chemical or additive that's being put into the water that's causing all the water filters to corrode a lot faster than normal. And so there's some shenanigans afoot. So that's where we are in the story, and then we'll have to see how it goes. But regardless of what's going on the Argo, obviously we're a mech warrior mercenary company, so we can't stop putting mechs on the ground and making money. So that's the idea behind the current episode. Is we're gonna put some money into our bank account. We're gonna hopefully pick up some salvage, maybe build our mech lance out a little bit. Lou, hey, how's it going? Just realized that you logged in. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for logging in, or tuning in, I guess. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Let's see what we've got. First off, let's check the barracks. Let's see if we have any training or XP to assign. Starting at the top. Behemoth, no XP to spend yet. Decker actually does have some XP to spend. -5 heat generation is good. -1 indirect fire. I don't think he needs that so much. Let's check Glitch. Ooh, Glitch actually has... interesting. So let's see. Glitch actually has a fair amount of XP to spend. She can upgrade to another level 4 ability. So I gotta figure out which one she's gonna get. So, Let me just take a look at something real quick. So right now, we're looking at who's going to go on the first mission. So Succubus played a negative card there. GV played a neutral card, so that doesn't really count. Glitch played a neutral card. So Behemoth played a strong card. All right, so Behemoth played strong, Succubus played played negative, and our lances are as follows. All right, so it looks like red team is going to go out first. That's Behemoth, Rebel, Decker, and GV. So we don't have to spend Glitch's XP just yet. We can wait to see if Kai logs on and expresses an opinion one way or the other. So we'll do that. We'll just take a look at Behemoth, Rebel, Decker, and GV for now. Commander. So Decker is usually running in one of the shooty mechs. Heat generation might not be bad for him.
I await your command.
GV, I mean, having extra gunnery might be good, but I don't know. Lou, if you have preference. Lou, I see you said guts for Glitch, which I don't think I want to give her guts at this point because I don't know that I want her necessarily being in melee. I'm more likely to either give her tactics or give her piloting. But again, I'm going to wait and see if Kai shows up and has an opinion on the whole thing. So Rebel. Rebel is usually in the missile boat, so getting her up to the point where she's reducing heat generation a little bit would probably be good. But what I really want to focus on is her tactics and her gunnery so that she is shooting and using indirect fire at the highest level of proficiency. So, Behemoth, Rebel, Decker, GV.
Yes, Commander.
Sensor lock for GV. Okay, yeah, we'll focus on getting, on just increasing tactics for GV then. So we're going to focus on getting him up there. We won't spend any XP just yet. This is kind of a long slog to get up there because it's 5,600 XP basically for the next level, and then it goes up from there, so we'll stick with that. Commander. And then for Decker, I think we will give him the -5 heat generation. Sorry about that. I'm going to try to mute every time I have a bit of a coughing fit. I have a leftover cough from a cold that I had a couple weeks ago. For whatever reason, the cough itself doesn't seem to want to go away. So, let me see something real quick. So Nick plays Decker. I don't know if he'll be logging in this evening. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to all the XP for right now. I can always spend it later. I don't know that it's going to make a huge difference in this mission, and we just have more XP to spend. So since there aren't any really critical decisions to make, we're going to put it off. So, mission number 1. We could go on this assassination mission. We can actually get a decent amount of salvage out of this. It's a 1 skull assassination mission. I think we could probably handle this with no major problems. And then... Actually, I think I said that the first mission of the night was going to be... Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not crazy here when I put all this stuff together. I know I mentioned something about this somewhere along the line. I can't seem to find it. Alright, well, doesn't really matter in the long run. Let's just go ahead and go with... I think Thorn in the Side is a good one to start with. Let's pick up some salvage and everything like that. And... yeah, let's do it. I think we're just going to go max salvage on this one. 4 pieces of salvage could make a big dent in our mech shortage. So let's see what we can pick up. And luckily enough, we've got Behemoth, Decker, GV, and Rebel already set up and ready to go. So let's just Yeah, let's just pick it up and run with it. So with assassination missions, if I remember correctly, the actual assassination target is a mech that would usually be found on a higher skull mission. I think it's one skull higher than the actual mission itself. So it's a 2-skull mech, quote unquote, on a 1-skull mission. So we'll have to see what we run into, see if we can find a decent strategy for taking out the supporting units before we take out the actual target. Hey, Marcus! Yeah, going for the loot this time around. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. How are you tonight?
Command interface initiated.
Ready to rock, Chief.
And as usual, our cats are going crazy. They always do the second we start talking or doing anything on the computer. So, fun times. We're going to... Hold on a second. We've got a few different reinforcement units going on here. So we've got smuggler forces here, smuggler reinforces back. So the reinforcements are backed by the actual target. So we're going to have another unit a little bit closer. So I feel like we move in, try to take out this closer lance as quickly as possible. So let's get Behemoth in there. Let's just figure out where they are and what we're dealing with, I think. This is a good map. I've actually never seen it from this particular perspective. Usually I get this map when I'm doing a base destruction, and so usually we start way back here, kind of like on this hill or with these trees, and then we have to move down into the water. There are usually reinforcements that come down there, and then there's the base here. So it's kind of interesting to be starting a little bit further forward in the water and having to move up through the valley in order to get to our target. It's kind of a cool change of scenery for me. Looks like we got at least 3 units here, 2 vehicles and a mech. It looks like they're all turn 4 enemies, so we'll see what we're dealing with. So let's go ahead and end the turn, have them move towards us, and then we'll go from there. But it is a good map. I do like the amount of high terrain you've got on this ridge here on the left, or I guess north, south, east, on the west side of the engagement area from, if we assume north is the direction we're facing when we come in. I like the water, of course. Okay, so 3 vehicles total. The water's great for heat management, which is nice. And then, of course, there are fair amount of trees kind of dotted around the map, so you can use those to take cover. You got a little bit of terrain you can work with to kind of block lines of sight and things like that. So it's a really good map. I like it a lot. Oh, we can actually get... Yeah, let's go ahead and get a look at this particular vehicle here, see what we're working with. A galleon, medium laser, small laser. He's got really minimal armament here. Do I want to use my rotary AC-5? So we've got 2 lances plus an assassination target. 30 rounds, 4 rounds of shot. That gives us 7 shots. I might actually just turn off the rotary AC-5 and just shoot with the very low chance to hit with the medium laser, but it's got such low armor. I don't want to waste 4 rounds for my AC on that. That would be overkill in the truest sense of the word. So, besides, this is why we've got GV hanging out in this snipey mech over here. The AC2. There it is. Boom. Just like that. Textbook. We get eyes on, and then GV knocks it out with the AC2. It's funny because I think when we first started the series, there was somebody on YouTube who left a comment saying that the AC2 is kind of a terrible weapon, and they don't know why we're using it, and everything like that. And mostly I agree with that. AC2s are not the best weapons in the game, but they are reasonable weapons. You know, they've got decent damage. It's at least equal to, actually a little bit better than a standard medium laser, and the range on them is just fantastic. And with 1 ton of ammo, you get 25 rounds, so you really can't beat it. Yeah, Mr. Marcus, that was definitely a dead tree. The Centurion, Decker and the Centurion managed to tag a tree with that medium laser that missed the tank, so it definitely killed the tree off. Now, I think in this particular case, we're gonna have Behemoth get in here and take a melee attack against this guy. We got a 92% melee chance. He's got, you know, low arm. Oh goodness, this actually might be. It actually might be a little bit overkill. Maybe we don't want to do that. Hold on a sec. Do we want to? Yeah, the fire starters. There's definitely a grudge as far as that goes. Yeah, let's just do it. As much as we want salvage, we don't necessarily want this salvage. We want whatever the assassination target is. So I want to blow up as many pieces of the smaller mechs and the smaller vehicles and stuff like that that we can. So, success. Continue advance up the western corridor with my shooters and send the missile boat up the eastern canyon wall on this map. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know that my missile boat can really get up there, but I guess we could come up this way. I like using the water to maintain our heat as far in as we possibly can. So we've got another Ignis tank here, which has slightly heavier armor, but not incredibly heavy armor. So we're gonna just stick with this. It's okay if we, you know, have a few misses and everything like that. We're not in any major rush right now. We're making good progress. We're conserving some of our resources. So I think we'll be okay. And that was yeah. That shot was probably destined to miss, so. But it's okay, because we have a missile boat.
On my way.
So we're going to get Rebel involved here, have her take out this last vehicle. Again, it doesn't pose much of a threat. The vehicle flamers and the machine guns aren't that big a deal, but we're going to take out the position quite as well. So, and there it is. Vehicle done.
One for the scrap.
Marcus says that Behemoth is happy now that she got to stomp, well, not really stomp, more like eviscerate a fire starter. The fire starter was the mech that, actually no, we lost the fire starter is what it is. Wait, what? Hold on a second. This guy has how much armor? Oh, okay, there we go. Like, still practically none, but I think we're gonna reserve this.
I copy.
I like having my melee mech with a high initiative. That's why we gave her the command console. Or no, that's why is she? Yeah, we gave her the command console for that reason. But at the same time, it's tough to melee something if you can't actually see them. So that's why I like to reserve right now until we get into visual range, and then we'll make better use of it. Oh, that's right. It was the fire starter that was causing some issues when Behemoth was in the Centurion. That's what it was. Yeah, that was a rough go. Barely managed to get her out of that with the engine crit and the flamers and everything like that. So I can understand the grudge. Behemoth has managed to redeem herself, so to speak. So I'm gonna have Behemoth come in and take out this tank in the back, and we're gonna leave this tank in the front for everybody else. It's kind of drawing her out of position, but that's okay to me, at least for the moment. So we're gonna do this, then we're gonna draw her back. So we're just kind of taking out stuff as they come, but we're not gonna let her get too far away because we don't want her to get cut off and overwhelmed. There we go. So right now we're looking at a kill for GV. We're looking at 2 kills for Behemoth and 1 kill for Rebel. So it's going pretty well. What do we have here? A Spider. 2 RL-10s, rocket launchers, and 2 arc welders. So is this meant to be a melee mech? That seems like a pretty sad melee mech when you get right down to it. The Spider IL is not, or I guess I1. Spider I1 is not necessarily a great mech, but that's okay. We don't pass judgment here. We pass a little bit of judgment here, but that's beside the Alright, let's go ahead and get the Centurion up here. Let's get Decker in here. Continue with the medium and small lasers, because this guy, if I remember correctly, has really, really, really paper-thin armor. Actually, it's not too bad. Depends on where we hit. But let's go ahead and take the shots. Nice. And Decker with a kill. Taking out the Ignis, hitting him in the side. It's perfect.
Ready for orders.
Alright, now we're going to get GV and Rebel up into the fray. I'm not too worried about this, spider up here threatening Behemoth, but still don't want to leave her alone for too long. So let's... Luckily, Rebel moves super slow. The Katusha is just a slow mech, but because of the LRM, she doesn't really need to be very fast in order to be effective. So we're going to move her up. We'll save some missiles. Again, I'm not too concerned with this spider, especially since it's running away anyways. So let's let it run away. I'm going to have... Behemoth come back here, kind of tuck behind this rock wall so that anything that gets within range hopefully won't have line of sight. And we'll do it that way. So hopefully we can continue drawing these enemies forward. So it's 2 vehicles and that spider, and then we're not sure what the smuggler leader is yet. Could be a medium mech, could be a heavy mech. I don't know how likely it is to be a heavy mech, but it's on the table at the least. Yeah, worst lure ever. I agree. That spider is just not very good bait. It's not tempting in the slightest. So, it looks like the smuggler leader might have been acting on turn 3 there. So it might be a medium mech or a heavy mech with some sort of initiative modifier. Like it could have a command console or something similar. So, still no definitive evidence as to what it actually is, but that's fine. We'll get there.
Commander?
I was playing my other campaign, and I went into a 1.5 skull assassination mission. Or no, it was a 1.5 skull battle mission, and I ended up with a Black Knight. And I don't have really heavy mechs, so it was kind of a surprise. Managed to take it out with a Panther, a Jenner, a Blackjack, and an Enforcer, but I lost a couple of limbs doing it, so it was not pretty. I'm hoping this particular mission, if it is a Black Knight, cool, but hopefully we'll have better luck. We won't lose as many pieces. Can I get Decker into position with this guy? Yes. Do I want to? I don't know. You know what? Actually, let's use Decker to spot these guys. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, that spider is definitely a spotter. So we don't want to do that. But we might want to do this. We got another Ignis. Scorpion. Scorpion has really low armor. So here's what I'm going to do. I think I might take this opportunity. I'm going to take a pot shot at the Scorpion, see if we can't take that tank out with the medium laser. And I'm going to fire a couple of shots with my other weapons on the spider. If we hit with this rotary AC-5, I mean it's gonna hurt. So nice. Decker managed to snag the Scorpion kill. That's great. And there it is with the AC-5, taking the spider down a peg. Took out a leg, an arm, a torso, and I think even the small laser hit on that one, 28%. So he, what's the term? I think he glitched that one. So that was awesome. I'm very pleased with how that went.
Yes, Commander.
So now let's get GV in here. We'll have GV take a shot at this Ignis. Again, long range, but that's kind of what the Enforcer's AC2 is for. So let's... Yeah, Spider's not a spotter anymore.
No joy.
Alright, AC2 shot went wide. It was only 60%, so it was pretty low chance anyways, but, you know.
Roger.
Worth a try. He got decked. Yeah, there you go. I like that. He got decked. So red team decks people, and blue team glitches. They glitch it. Good shot. So this spider is just, it's toast. I mean, it may not be dead yet, but it's gonna be very soon. Let's go ahead and have Rebel come up. We'll have her just use her LRM-20 triple plus here, reserve some missiles. Not that I think it's gonna take 520 missiles to take out the assassination target, but why risk it? Let's go ahead and take this thing out with some missiles. Oh, actually, we didn't take it out. See, that's what you get for playing conservative. She just launched a ton of missiles. But it's not like it really did anything to us anyways, so it's all good.
What's up, Bob?
Behemoth is gonna, I think, at this point, come in and stomp on the spider. I mean, there's no reason not to at this point.
Order received.
So get in there and squish the and it's done. Not quite sure why we're building up stability damage on successful melee strikes. I thought it only happened on unsuccessful melee strikes, but I could be wrong there. Alright, so we've got the assassination target back here. It looks like he's acting on turn 3, so medium mech or, again, heavy, possibly. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and get GV in here. 87% shot on this tank since it didn't move. Let's take it. Nice. There we go. Alright. Tank done. We're going to be able to get people into position here. I might actually try to get... I'm going to see if I can't get the Centurion up on top of this wall, because having the height bonus with the rotary AC5 could be huge. That elevation bonus could be very, very beneficial. Sadly, I can't get my missile boat up here because I took all the jump jets off of her, but that's okay. We can keep her back, and she can contribute to the fight either way.
Here we go.
May not be quite as accurate, but I think we'll still manage it. So. Yeah, that spider went kersplat, but that was kind of intentional. Like I said, I wanted to get rid of all the excess, I don't want to say worthless, but not as valuable salvage, so I'm glad that most of that exploded. But yeah, jump jets for the missile boat would be good. The problem is we need to make sure we have enough weight to support it, or like we need enough extra tonnage to support that. Okay, so we've got a Yenlo Wang CN9. This is a Centurion variant that is actually really freaking scary considering the fact that it's rolling an AC-20. So we're going to have to be quick about this. So we're going to get Decker up top here with that AC5, like I said. It's not the best spot for him, but we can make it work. And then we want to get, you know what, hold on a second. I think I might actually have GV kind of run over here to try to do the same thing on the other side. Because if we can flank him from 2 high ground positions, that would be pretty fantastic.
Standing by.
And then I'm going to keep... I'm not even going to move Rebel. I'm going to keep her back here. She's out of range, especially of his... she's out of range of his weapons, so he's really no threat to her right now, so moving was just reduce her chances to hit. So let's go ahead and let's fire in some... I'm actually going to offensive push this, knock him back in the initiative order by 1, so everybody else will get to move before he does. And who knows, maybe we can land a headshot. Yeah, he's got a lot of modded weapons, so he's got a couple... That AC-20++ is scary as hell.
What's up, Bob?
So... So I'm debating getting in there and brawling with this thing in melee because we're doing 136 damage. He has 120 in his right torso, 120 in his left torso, and he's got 155 in his center torso. He's got a supercharger. He's got ferrofibrous armor. He's got TSM. He has. Does he have claws? No. He's got the jackhammer. He's got the flamer, the AC 20. I'm really tempted to get in there and hit him, but the problem is if I blow out his center core, that's a lot less valuable as far as salvage goes. Of course, if we get in there and he shoots us with the AC 20 in the face, then that doesn't really accomplish anything for us either. So, I mean, let's do it. As much as I'd love to come back with a mostly intact Yunlo Wang, I just don't think it's worth losing a pilot or a mech. So, it was a good hit. Somehow we hit the front center torso, so I'm okay with that, I guess. We took out... Okay. Took out his stability, so that works.
I'm ready.
Let's get GV to come up here and take a shot.
Rolling.
Yeah, mission before salvage for sure. And our pilots before salvage is what it really comes down to. So
Target.
that was a miss at 82.6, effectively 83%. Okay, fine.
Waiting orders.
In that case, let's go ahead and leave Rebel here again, and we'll fire him. I should have done this to because this is going to knock him down. That's for sure. And survey says down he goes. All right. Ooh, he has some sort of a cockpit mod that's allowing him to recover that fall injury. So now I'm wondering if bringing our Centurion up top isn't going to be a mistake. We may not be able to get into a position where it has decent shots. Okay. I should have considered that as an option.
Minimal damage on that hit.
Yeah, I agree. Like, as much as I wanted to have GV up top sniping, I think in this particular case we actually need to be getting our mechs in there and actually messing with them. So let's have Behemoth come over here. We'll take another crack at him in melee. Really hoping we don't destroy anything super vital, but it might happen. We'll see. Oh, yeah, like that. You know. And it looks like he's going to fall. So 2 out of 3 health. Okay, so this actually isn't too bad. We might actually be able to just take him out from afar at this point because he's going to be at initiative 1, so all our guys can go first. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I want to take some called shots on the head because if we get lucky and we hit him with just one headshot, that'll actually take him out. Yes, GV did it. Nice. All right, first attempt, 98% shot. Only a 4.8%, I think, on the headshot, and he managed to tag it. So that dealt fatal damage to the pilot, taking it out, keeping it mostly intact, mostly, minus a left torso and a left arm, but, you know, that's okay. So that was actually very successful. We could have also done a headshot or a called shot with Rebel, but because of all the splash damage, she might have destroyed that exposed leg, or most of the missiles could have landed in the torso and blown that up, and there's all kinds of ways that we could have ended up actually losing salvage on that. But yeah, Lou definitely made up for the earlier miss on that. That was precision shooting. Very pleased with that. So we got a bit of a bonus for destroying the smuggler reinforcements and his supporting forces, so that's awesome. Our drop costs were 50,000, so we only walk away with 10 grand. But we got 4 pieces of salvage we get to pick, plus a bunch that we're going to get randomly. So here's hoping that we're able to get some cool stuff. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts of a Yunlo Wang. We need 6. We have the AC 20 plus range, +1 evasion ignore. That's actually pretty cool. But it's so heavy, we don't have any mechs to mount it on right now. So I'm gonna. It's flashy, it's kind of cool, but it's not feasible when you get right down to it. We've got the ferrofibrous armor, which is great. Patchwork materials, the supercharger. Ooh, the supercharger. Yeah, actually, I don't think we did lose the cockpit mod. I think this was it, Lou. I think it's this one right here. It's just a +1 injury mod. But the Shadowhawk already has the... Yeah, the Shadowhawk has the command console, which gives it 2 injury ignore. So, and the extra initiative and everything like that. So, these are cool, but it's low value, relatively easy to find for the +1 version, so I think we'll skip it in this particular case. Was that an OA contract? What is OA? Sorry, Marcus, I'm not sure what OA means. I like the supercharger. Actually, I kind of like the supercharger a lot. +40% walking, +10% sprinting. That can be really good on the melee mech. It can be really good kind of on any mech, just to kind of get him into position. It would probably go into the Centurion if we don't already have one. We'd have to make up space for it, so... Outworlds Alliance. You know what? It might have been. The Roguetech mod adds in some extra factions, and I'm not as familiar with those because they're... I think in the canon of Battletech, they're smaller factions, like they're usually ideologically based, or they're really, really small systems. So while I'm familiar with the big ones like Steiner and, you know, House Kurita and Davian, or Davian is Steiner, but you know what I mean. The Lyran Commonwealth, I'm familiar with the big ones. The smaller ones I'm not as familiar with. And I definitely don't recognize the symbol, so I couldn't tell you. Oh, you know what? I will go back and I will check the footage, and I will double check that. I think you might be right. But I will double check the footage, and I will make sure we make mention of that. I'll have to pay closer attention to that in the future, like what employers we've got. That might be an interesting way of kind of drawing the pilots into it, is like maybe they can influence which missions we take based on, you know, what employer is offering the contract. But so I think in this particular case, I'm just going to grab the Centurion pieces. We get 4 of them. We've got 12 additional. There's a lot of vehicle flamers in here, sadly, so we'll probably get 1 or 2 of those, but that's fine. I think we take these 4. Hopefully we get the 5th one, and then we can find another one floating around somewhere. Yeah, we did actually. We got the fifth piece. So we just need 1 more piece to finish that off. We got a few. Oh, actually, nice. We picked up the ferrofibrous armor. I'm really happy about that. We got the lower arm actuator, which might help in one of our mechs if one of them doesn't have one. I think they all do, but just in case. All right, cool. I'm really happy with this salvage pull. I think that's great. So let's continue on, and let's see. There is a slight possibility that we will actually complete that Centurion without having the 6th piece. I don't know what the percentage chance is. I think it's like 5% or something like that for... I think for every extra piece you have an extra 5% chance or something. I don't know. I forget what it is. But sad. No such luck. Lou, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. We will hopefully see you next week. At the very least, we will see you on Storium. Yeah, and we got the random spider piece that is not particularly valuable, but it's all good. I'm sure Blue Team is going to be looking to, you know, at least match Red Team's performance. So clearly Red Team's time in the simulator paid off. Only had a little bit of like some scratches on the Shadowhawk there, so I'm really pleased with that outcome. So let me jump in and check something real quick. Do these all have... Excuse me, I apologize for the hiccup, folks. That was embarrassing. I want to make sure they all have a lower arm actuator at the very least. So this actually, he's got a weapon mount, so that makes it even better. Although, should I be switching that over to Centurion for that? Rack 5, I mean, that's a good, that's probably the better combo when you get right down to it. Centurion. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Slight tweaking, changing up our mech loadout just a little bit. We're gonna take the lower arm actuator and toss it on here. That actually gives us an extra pound. Oh, well, that's gonna mean that we had, or not an extra pound, an extra ton. That's gonna mean that we need an extra ton. We need to find a free ton to, or blah, I can't talk. We need to find a ton to free up on the Centurion if we're gonna do it this way. Which I think actually we can manage because it's got a hand actuator on the other arm that it's not using. Because, I mean, I guess technically it does give it a little bit of extra melee capacity, but nope, that's 0 tonnage as well. I thought it was 1 ton. Can I fit the Ferro Fiber somewhere? No, not at all. Not even close. Ha! How dare you even ask such a thing? So, can I find space for it? The answer is yes. I can take out the small laser. Take out the lower arm actuator, drop the back armor by a few points in every location, drop the leg armor. So we're kind of distributing the armor reduction across a few different spots. Yeah, I think you're right, Marcus. I think if we shave some armor off of these spots, that frees up the ton. We take the small laser off so that we're not reducing the armor by too much. Honestly, the small laser doesn't add a whole lot anyways. It's nice to have if you can afford it, but I'm willing to lose it in exchange for giving the weapon mount to the Centurion. So I think we're going to do this. Let's go back. We're going to go to the Enforcer. We are going to refit. We're going to take that weapon mount out. We're going to put the lower arm actuator in. We've got a tag. Actually, you know what? We can put a tag on this thing. I think we might actually do that instead of the extra armor. It's pretty mobile. It's staying further away. I think ultimately I want to make this into more of a snipey mech anyways. So, do we take the... 1, 2, 3... Hold on a sec. I'm just gonna fiddle with something here on the Enforcer. I may not end up actually doing this, but I want to at least consider it. If we take all this stuff out, right? Take the small lasers out, take that stuff out. We toss a PPC in there. We're still... So we could do that. We could run that with the Enforcer. So it's got a ballistic weapon, it's got a PPC in either arm. It's hanging out in the back. It's got very long and extreme ranges. So let's see, optimal max 780, max of 600. So I mean, this could actually make the Enforcer a pretty viable sniper for us. Hanging in the back. The PPC adds a debuff to enemy aim, which can be really beneficial. I don't know. That's a tough call. I kind of like it because I never really liked the idea of having the Enforcer get up in front, like in something's face to begin with. But it does reduce the firepower of something fierce, so I don't know if it's worth it in the long run. Max damage is only 86. Heat sink is good. I'm not worried about that. I don't think we're going to do it. It was interesting from an academic perspective, but I don't think we're going to do it. We're going to take that off. We're going to go back to... Sorry. Yeah, if it was an extended range PPC, that would change it. I would definitely consider it if that was the case. But since it's not... Got an extra ton that we can put on the Enforcer at this point, so... Let's make sure the armors don't get blown off. Put a couple extra tons into the back armor. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. We could still toss the ferrofibrous on there. There's nothing wrong with it. That would allow us to put some extra jump jets in there. So we could do something like this. Or maybe not. Maybe we could do something like this. Maybe we do that. Upgrade one of the mediums to a pulse laser. So the problem with that is it actually, I guess, actually, yeah, that's not a bad plan. We take these out. All of a sudden, that's a viable option. The medium pulse laser has a better chance of hitting and everything like that. I think we're gonna stick with the jump jets, quite frankly. I like the extra mobility. The pulse laser actually is gonna increase the heat significantly. I guess not significantly, but more than I'd like. I think this is a fine build. We added some jump jets, we added some armor. I think we're good here. So let's go with that. Then we're gonna jump over the Centurion. We're gonna toss that weapon mount on there, and then I think we're gonna be done with modifications, at least for the moment. Let's take out the lower arm. Let's toss in the weapon mount. We still have to find an extra pound, and had we determined where we were going to do that? I don't think we had. Oh, yeah, we had. Take out the small laser. And drop that stuff down by one each. So, slight loss in firepower. Pretty significant increase in heat management, though. And we are increasing the likelihood of hitting with this rotary AC5. So that's cool. I like that. That's a good loadout.
I'll let you know when that's done.
So we're going to take a couple of days to get this work taken care of. It looks like we'll be done in 6 days total. So that's good. What do we got here? Darius meets you in the galley, bearing some unfamiliar fruits and a number of spice packets. Succubus returned from shore leave with gifts: a big bag of this produce, some spices, and a bunch of meat from a hunting trip. I've got no idea what the animal is called, but the haunches are bigger than I am. He turns one of the strange fruits in the light, and its color shifts from green to iridescent purple. How do you feel about adding this to our stocks? Could make for a nice change of pace. I agree. It's too bad that Succubus isn't from the periphery, because then we could get this little spiffy option down here at the bottom. But, I guess decide that unusual food is too risky given the diverse origins of the crew, or applaud Succubus's generosity and welcome the treat. I think we're gonna risk it. I think, a nice little change up in the menu and everything like that is worth the risk. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, God. The deliciously spiced meal turns to ash in your mouth when GV suddenly clutches his throat and falls, gasping to the floor. You hop over your table to pull his twitching form away from obstacles. Then you're tugged out of the way by one medic while another plunges a syringe of epinephrine into the victim's thigh. As GV's allergic reaction subsides, you glance around and see the aghast expression on Succubus's face. A dozen plates are pushed forward in unison. Damn it. Okay, well... My ever-supportive wife just added the bit of commentary that someone on the crew just contracted dysentery, which is not at all what happened. He had an allergic reaction, but thank you very much for the Oregon Trail reference. Alright, so morale decreased by 2. That sucks. Succubus gained the Jinxed tag and low spirits. and GV suffers an injury. So he's going to be in medbay for a little bit. I'm really bummed out about that. Alright. But we don't have time to dwell on it. Let's go ahead and... Actually, hold on. Let's check the barracks real quick. I want to see if we've got any XP that we can spend for blue team that's getting ready to go in here. So blue team is going to consist of Glitch, Succubus, Phantom, and Medusa. So we've got Glitch is here.
Waiting on you, Commander.
She's sitting on some XP. I'm still not sure here. I still don't see her as a melee fighter. I really see her more as a pilot. So I'm gonna dump the points into evasive movement, and I'm gonna just make that executive decision. So we've got that. So we've got Glitch, we've got Succubus.
Awaiting orders.
Oh, hey, look at that. I think increasing the likelihood that she'll hit is good in melee combat, and giving her +1 to her evasion. That's definitely the way to go here.
Training complete.
Phantom,
Yup.
-5 heat generation. I don't know that the Katyusha is suffering from a lot of heat buildup issues, so I think we're going to hang on to that. And then we've got Medusa. He's our melee fighter, or actually... Oh, we've got 2 meleeers in this particular crowd. Alright, that's cool. So he doesn't really have any XP that I'm going to spend on him. So let's go ahead and jump into a contract. Alright, so Trap Sprung, that's going to be a battle. Decent pay, okay salvage, nothing great. Holovid Propaganda is going to give us good salvage and good pay. It's a half skull mission, so it'd be a little bit easier. Turn the Tables is destroying the base, high salvage, not as good pay. Base defenses get a little bit... I hate to say it, but they get a little bit boring. I don't know that we want to go in for Letter of Mark at a skull and a half just yet. Maybe. Logistical breakdown. We're going to ambush a convoy. That's not my favorite either. I don't think we're ready to jump into 2 skull missions yet. Let's go with the Trap Sprung. Let's go with the battle. We get some decent salvage out of it. We'll get a little bit of a payday. Actually, we don't get great salvage out of it, quite frankly. Okay, we're going to back off that one real quick. I mean, I guess if we just want to go salvage, we've got enough to pay for a couple months' worth of operations, but the financial report's coming up in, like, as soon as we come back from the mission. So I think I guess it doesn't matter. We can just focus on money for the following month. So let's just go salvage this time around. I think that's going to be best in this particular case. So let's plug people into the places that makes most sense. So let's get Succubus in the Shadowhawk. Let's get Glitch in the Enforcer, and let's get Medusa in the Centurion. So he may end up mixing it up in melee a little bit, but he may not. We'll see how it goes. So let's deploy. Let's get down there. We're actually over tonnage on this particular mission by a half skull. With battles, it's a little bit tough to tell because sometimes you can end up with, 2 full lances that you're fighting against. So having a little bit of overage on the difficulty rating is kind of a good thing. But we'll find out. Alright, we'll see if we can have as much success on the second mission as we did on the first one. Fingers crossed. And then I'll be very interested to see what PJ's response is to the random event that occurred. Accidentally almost poisoning GV. Which, I'll be honest, in the story of the game, Succubus and GV don't necessarily get along very well. So someone might make the argument that she did it on purpose. Which obviously is not the case, but, okay. I got to get into the habit of starting to check who our employers are when we go into the missions. So we automatically got enemies over here on the right. Looks like 3 vehicles at least, plus maybe a mech. It might be all vehicles. They haven't revealed yet. So I think what I'm going to do is I know this seems weird, but I'm actually going to have Succubus come over here and try to deal with these vehicles. It's pretty easy for melee mechs to deal with vehicles as long as it's not, you know, a bunch of heavy vehicles touting like AC-20s or something crazy like that. I don't think we should be in any real danger. I don't know what this last enemy is, so let's do that. The other 3 are going to move to engage. Oh, I guess they're all over in this direction. Sorry, I'm so used to, usually on this map in a battle, we've got some guys located up here on this like hill, or this this rise, this cliff, and then others located on this road. So it actually, I guess it works out. We're all going in the same direction. So we'll keep everybody together. Let's get the Centurion moving in. Bring that rotary AC-5 into range.
I hear ya.
Get Glitch in there. And then we're going to have Rebel do her usual. She's going to hang out in the back, and she'll just pepper things with missiles depending on what the target priorities are. So we'll kind of use the same playbook as always. So let's draw these vehicles in. I'm going to reserve. Hopefully more of them will move in, and then I will be able to get a clear stomp off with the Shadowhawk. We got an SRM Pegasus here, 3 SRM-6s, moving pretty quick. Alright, so more of those hit than I would have liked, but not too bad. Not quite an optimal range, but close enough that even with a lot of evasion, he was able to tag her a few times. Looks like misses around there. So whatever this is running machine guns and a flamer or a vehicle flamer. I'm thinking it might be one of those. Is it the Ignis or is it the? I think it's the Ignis. No, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's the Phoenix. It's one. I forget which tank it is. So we got a light mech over here that's throwing PPCs at us. It's probably a Panther. So it's probably running a PPC and SRM-4. And then over here we had 2 Thunderbolt missiles. So that's probably a Jenner 7X, I think is what it is. Relatively low threat, but those Thunderbolt missiles do 30 damage if they hit, assuming they're the variant that I'm thinking of. So, you know, if both of them hit, that could actually be pretty bad.
Yes, Commander.
So let's try to avoid that if we can. Okay, I think we're going to do this. So Medusa in the Centurion is, you know, relatively low chance of hitting this Pegasus with a melee. But if he comes in with the rotary AC-5, all of a sudden his chances are looking a lot better. So let's do that. Let's bring him in. I forgot we gave the Centurion a supercharger, so he's actually doing pretty well as far as movement goes these days. So let's just take this thing out. Boom. There we go. Boom goes the dynamite. And actually decent heat management too. I'd forgotten about that. I'm actually really happy with this Centurion build. Can we get... No. I was really hoping we could get some kind of eyes on another enemy, but no such luck. So let's get Glitch up here.
Commander? On my way.
I'm gonna have Shadowhawk run in, Succubus run in here. She's within range. She should be able to fire with all of her weapons. It is a Panther. Is it 5T? Is it Panther 5T? 9L. Sorry. Oh, it's a plasma cannon. Haywire EMP and Flamer ++. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Arc Welder hit.
Reporting critical hits.
medium laser hit. The chainsword hit, at least some of it hit. Exposed the leg, tore through some armor on the left side. Overall, not a bad result. We also have eyes on all these guys now. So we've got an Ignis and a Scorpion SRM. So let's see what we can get done with Rebel. We're going to multi-target here. I think we will multi-target this guy with the LRM-20. We'll go with the Ignis with the triple plus, and we'll go against the Ignis with the other one. We should be able to do some damage. So we might even be able to pull this leg off if we get really lucky. No, not really lucky, but we did get ahead here. So okay, so we didn't kill this tank either, but we softened it up. Panther's moving to disengage from Succubus, which makes sense because she's scary. I think I'm going to have Succubus come and stomp this tank now because we want to take out sources of damage before they're able to act. So since the Panther moved away and just braced, we're going to have Succubus come over here and take out the tank. So now it's not going to hurt anybody, and we're kind of free as far as that goes. So I think that's probably the best way to take advantage of this opportunity. Then the Ignis is going to machine gun and vehicle flamer, like I said. Didn't I say machine guns, vehicle flamers, Ignis? Pretty sure I did. Then of course I second guessed myself and said it might have been a Phoenix or might have been a Scorpion or something like that, so take it for what it's worth. Yep. Jenner 7X running 2 Thunderbolt Missile 10s. The 10s 30 damage, or is that the 5s? I actually don't remember. But regardless, I really don't want them shooting at me if at all possible. So let's see what we can do here. Nope, we don't want to do that. I am okay with bringing Medusa and a Centurion over here and firing with the rotary AC-5 again. I guess this is the entirety of the enemy units, so this is the entirety of the enemy lands. Nothing particularly exciting, quite frankly. Like, the Jenner's an okay mech, but it's not anything to really get excited over. So let's bring Glitch in. Let's see if she can't finish off that tank. Sorry, Marcus. What's hazardous to everybody's health? Oof. That was a lot of damage spread out. Kind of unfortunate. Alright, let's bring Rebel up. We're gonna multi-target, go for the Jenner, go for the Panther. I think we're gonna do the triple plus against the Panther and the regular LRM against the Jenner. So let's see what we can get done with this. Took out the arm, which took out one of his Thunderbolt missiles. Oh yeah, Succubus is definitely hazardous in itself. Both on the battlefield and off the battlefield, as it turns out. Don't let Succubus cook. That's all we're gonna say. Oh, someone got a little bit cheeky there. Getting right up in Succubus's face with that plasma cannon. Luckily, it missed. So we're gonna have Succubus stomp the other tank. Hopefully, this will finally finish it off. Didn't have as much luck taking it down as I hoped earlier, but that's okay. So we built up some good evasion. We're gonna burn off some heat, take an enemy off the field. It's kind of just good all around. And then, what the heck is this Jenner doing? Is it really coming in for a melee attack? Yes, it is. Okay. I mean, you're built to be an indirect, long-range combatant, but sure, do your thing.
Good to go.
Let's have Glitch come over here and try to deal with this Panther. That gets her in range for a side arc shot, so slightly better chances to hit as a result. And we don't have to worry about the heat on this bad boy. This the Enforcer is just, it's built for efficiency. Decent chances to hit with all the weapons. Let's take the shots. Not great. Oh, wow. Okay. I'll take that. So this guy is out. Oh, he failed. Coward. That's okay. I don't mind that. Then let's have Medusa come around the rear arc on this Jenner, and let's just take him out. This AC5 to the back, I don't see him surviving, so just cut through the Jenner like a knife through butter. Nice. Not too bad. Easier mission, so actually I think they were both one skull, or was the first one a skull and a half? Skull and a half? Okay. So this mission was a little bit easier, kind of showed in the lance makeup for the enemies, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll pick up some decent salvage. At the very least, it's not like it cost us a whole lot. We've got 4 Panther parts. Panther 9L is okay. Oh, wait. This one has the plasma cannon quirk. So, I don't know if you can see it, but in the description for the mech, at the bottom, it has in green text, quirk prototype plasma cannon. So, loading that thing up with a plasma cannon means it does more damage, and I think more heat than another mech with a plasma cannon would. So that would actually not be a bad addition to the Lance. It's just 4 parts. We need 6, so we'd have to run into another one at some point. Not impossible, but something to consider at least. Heat bank plus. Okay. This might actually end up coming with us instead, and this might go on the Centurion? I think the Centurion is the mech that suffers from heat the most. Although, no, since we fixed the Centurion up, it's not really a concern. We've got double heat sinks. We've got another weapon mount. Okay, I'm taking the weapon mount. I'm taking the heat bank. Even if we don't use it on any of the mechs we have now, it's good to have for some of the ones that we'll end up picking up. So, yeah, I saw the heat sinks, the double heat sinks, Marcus. I'm super tempted because there's nothing else on here that's really worthwhile to me. So I think I'm going to pick up the double heat sinks. I think this is our best bet for building a new mech once we get all the pieces for it. So I think we're going to go with this. With any luck, we'll get at least one more of these double heat sinks that are on here in our random 9 pulls. So fingers crossed. Let's see what we get. Couple Panther 9L pieces, machine gun, some SRM6s, a vehicle flamer, and a jump jet. So nothing particularly great on the random pull, but I guess, you know, stuff we can sell, and we're building up towards a Panther mech, so that's never a bad thing. Alright, so this is actually a great little tip. Each mech bay on the Argo grants an additional repair bay, so we can work on 3 mechs at once. That's actually... We're going to have to work up towards that point where we can not only open up some more mech slots so that we can have more mechs available, but also we can repair more than one at a time. But that is a ways off because we don't have that kind of money right now. So the financial report just hit, brought us down to 630,000 C-bills. We've got enough for 1 more month of operations. We're going to finish off the repairs on this Panther, so we actually are going to have a new Panther now available and ready to go. So that's awesome. Let's take a quick look at it, make sure that we are happy with it. So it is sitting on a PPC, an ER medium laser. Okay. This mech may require a little bit of fixing because look at that heat efficiency. It is terrible. So here's what we're going to do. That fancy heat bank and double heat sink that we just picked up, we're going to There we go. All of a sudden, heat efficiency is looking a lot better. So we are looking at a shutdown of 130 heat. So that's good. Let's take this one out. Let's put that double heat sink in. Wait, what? 1 ton. Oh, I see. I see. Ah. I hate having them both in the same arm as well, quite frankly. It's definitely not something I want to work with, or to be working with, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't have any weapon mounts anywhere else other than the missiles in the torso. So, unless we want it just running a PPC and SRM-4, this makes the most sense. I like having the ER medium laser because it lets it operate from slightly longer range. So, I think I'm going to stick with it for the time being. I forget, do PPCs cause recoil? I think they might. So generate a mild EM field. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn PPCs came with a recoil penalty, but that's okay. All right, that's making the heat efficiency on this thing look a lot better. So I think we will stick with it. We're not going to be alpha striking with it most of the time anyways. This really is meant to be a it's really meant to be a snipe mech, so it's standing far away, hitting with the PPCs, and then if it needs to, it can kind of mix it up in melee, or in it can mix it up in medium range a little bit. Oh yeah, I agree. I wish you could switch around like weapon mounts or something. Like it would kind of make sense if you could spend money to change them, but I guess technically, according to the canon, this variant of this mech only has hard points in certain areas, so they stuck with that. That's fine. I mean, it's not, but it's cool. So we're gonna stick with this. I like that. It's only gonna be 2 days. We put the heat bank to use pretty much immediately. So let's do that. And you know what? We're only an hour and 12 minutes in. I say we do a quick mission. Let's do holovid propaganda to defend the base. Let's focus on money. So let's earn a few, like basically 300,000 C-bills. A couple pieces of salvage. It's a half skull mission. We're going to be going in there with some pretty heavy mechs, so I don't think this will be a problem. But let's go ahead and take care of it. In fact, what is our most expensive mech on the list? Oh, the Centurion, really? Oh, the Centurion or the Shadowhawk. So I think we actually put the Panther in. Yeah, exactly. Pad the purse a little bit. Let's get a little bit of a not a windfall, but a financial buffer going. I'm going to reduce our drop cost a little bit by putting the Panther in instead of the Centurion. Reduces our drop cost by basically 11,000 C-bills, so we're more likely to operate at a profit on this one. So I think we're going to keep... How do I want to do this? I'm going to switch these two around because I want Medusa in the mech that's more likely to close in. Although that mech's not really going to close in melee, is it? Let's take Medusa out, actually. I'm going to get Strider in here. Yeah, let's get Strider in there. She's kind of our loner mech warrior. She's the one that's going to bounce back and forth between teams. So let's pull her in. I don't mind swapping Medusa out because he's another unclaimed pilot, so he's an NPC at the moment. So let's swap out Strider, another NPC. So I'll have Succubus, Glitch, Rebel, Strider, and let's see how this goes. Put Glitch in the Panther. So she's the rookie mech warrior in the story. So I want her to get used to a few different mech types rather than having her just in the one Enforcer. So ultimately, who knows, that may become the mech that she kind of takes out on most missions, but if we've got some versatility or some variety, let's mix it up. Don't always want to do the same old thing. It gets boring after a while. And once again, I did not check the employer. Man, I'm not good at that. It's one more thing to add to the mental checklist. So as part of a propaganda effort, we've been operating a secret holovid broadcasting facility. I don't know. Is this just the local planetary... This emblem might just be the local planetary government, if I remember correctly. So they're saying that they've been operating a holovid broadcasting facility on Galatea. The clearest sign that our efforts are working is that MRB agents have spent months searching for this facility. So the Mercenary Review Board doesn't like this local government propaganda operation, so they're trying to send some people in to take it out, and we're going to go in and try to defend it. That's the idea. So let's do it. Starting off with enemy contact right off the bat. You usually do in these missions. Tasked with defending the propaganda facility, scatter reports of possible hostiles. Okay. Alright, so we've got some turret cover. These friendly vehicles have to drive up here and turn the turrets on, but they'll be able to do that, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's get Glitch over here somewhere in the trees, kind of in a slightly elevated position so she can snipe. We're going to end up bringing Succubus down this way to deal with these guys, and then Strider and Rebel are going to hang out up here, and they're going to kind of deal with whatever ends up making the most sense. And that is the dumbest path I've seen for that APC to take. Why in the world did you go that way?
Yes, Commander.
Okay, well that's weird, but it is what it is. Let's get Succubus down here. She can take a shot with her pulse laser. Maybe she can tag this thing and take it out. I didn't actually look at how much armor it has in its various locations. Okay, so she won't be taking it out, but she might as well take the shot. 54%. Nope. That's all good. She'll be able to take it out next turn. She's just going to go stomp on the thing's head. So, got another vehicle coming around this way. She should be able to reach this vehicle next turn, so I'm not too worried about that. It's kind of just a matter of making sure that we take proper advantage of what we've got going on here. So...
Order? Awaiting orders.
It's such a weird position for us to be in. Like... Let's go ahead and get Strider and the Enforcer into the trees here. Let's have her brace. She can help take these guys out. With this mission type, one thing I need to be careful of is they usually drop reinforcements back on this end of the map. And sometimes it's just a couple mechs, sometimes it's 4 units, and then they'll usually drop some more right where these 2 guys are. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do with everything once it gets around to our turn again. But for right now, you know what? Let's just go ahead and let's launch some missiles at this thing. 96.4%. Kill it, great. If not, kill it. Sweet. Rebel with the missile boat. Those things are awesome, I'm telling you.
Good to go.
And at this point, I think we reserve. Let's let the enemies come to us. That APC is getting the heck out of dodge, which is good. I wanted to move up and actually turn these turrets on so we can make use of them. But more importantly, I want to pull these enemy units towards us before the rest of our mechs go, so we have full use of our firepower. AC-5, a couple SRM-2s on the Scorpion. Nothing too concerning.
Standing by.
Succubus can get in there, then again, so can Strider. Not that, of course, Strider's not very good at that, so let's...
Waiting on you, Commander.
Let's have Glitch move over in the Panther, see if she can take out this little Scorpion. There's a lot of heat buildup. Yeah, maybe we can mitigate that some. Let's go for it. Let's just take it. Okay. Missed with the PPC. It was only a 56% chance, so, you know, it was nowhere near guaranteed, that's for sure. Yay, nice.
Aye, aye.
That tank sensor locked this tank for us. An ER large laser, that's kind of nice. I wonder if we can do something with that. Might be able to. We'll see if we pick it up with the salvage, I don't know yet. But at the very least, it allowed Succubus to get in there and stomp on it. So now it's not something we have to worry about.
Boarding vehicle destroyed. Ready for orders.
Let's move Enforcer over to this side. She gets a couple pips of evasion. She's in cover. Turn off the AC2 and just fire the medium lasers. And there we go. More misses than I would like to see, if I'm completely honest. But enough hits that we took it out. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So let's see here. I think we're going to have Rebel. I think Rebel's going to kind of hold down this side of the fort. So we'll just get ready for when the reinforcements come. I don't think we need to waste any missiles on this guy. He's by himself. I think we've got this from this flank. It's another fire starter. Man, the enemies love these things. Large lasers, small laser, flamer, flamer. Actually, I like that build for a fire starter. That's pretty good.
Yes, Commander.
Let's bring Succubus over. She won't be able to, like, take it out, but she can at least put some laser fire down on it. Maybe tear off some armor. Scare him a little bit. Or not. She's not the best shot with that laser. But that's not what we pay her for. Let's be honest. We pay her to get out there and smash things. And she does that with gusto. So,
I hear ya.
let's,
Got it.
I think we get Glitch over here. Let's turn off the SRMs. Well, they don't add that much heat. Let's take the shot. Is that a headshot? I think that was a head. Nope. Maybe not. It's okay. I was injured. They finally got those turrets up and running.
What's up, boss?
Good lord. Took them forever. Alright, let's have Strider come in and make this attack. It's 92% at this point. 65 melee damage. Take the shot. Or take the swing, I guess. Nice. Took out a leg. That's awesome. Puts it on its back. It's going to knock it down in initiative, so we're going to get another shot at it next turn. Although, looks like the turrets are going to get in there. They're slow. Who's slow? Marcus.
Aye, aye.
I'm assuming you're talking about one of the enemy units, but... Or you're talking about the APCs. Because if that's who you're talking about, yes, you are 100% correct. They are extremely slow. Turrets are... nice. Turrets made him bail out, so that's good. We're on round 7, so we've got those reinforcements coming in that I talked about. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7 enemy units. 3 of them are over here. Putting some fire down on the large building there.
Awaiting orders.
And sadly, Succubus is completely out of position. So let's get her over here so she's no longer completely out of position. And then next turn... Yeah, the friendlies are slow. One of the biggest problems I have, and just like every other video game, is escort missions in this game. They are...
Engaging.
Oh, nice. It's a good shot with the pulse laser there. Succubus managed to take off its arm, take out one of its LRM-5s. Good shot. But yeah, escort missions in this thing are just so bad because there's the friendly tanks are so slow, and they're AI is terrible because the one in the back will usually move first rather than the one in the front, and so you end up with one unit that's way out ahead of the rest, and then all the enemy units that spawn when that hits the extraction point suddenly go after that, trying to kill it. And it's a little bit silly, let's put it that way. Alright, let's bring Glitch back here. She actually has some pretty good shots here. Can we do this without overheating? No. Fine, do this. Well, Glitch managed to at least take off its side torso, but she's not living up to her reputation on this mission. It must be the Panther. It's a new mech for her, so. Ooh. We have to try to take these guys out before they finish off this building. What do we have over here? Got another fire starter K. Well, we're going to lose that building. So much for a bonus on this mission. Okay, well, actually that's not so bad. The Panther 9R decided to go after the friendly tank, so that's good. Ignis going after the... Yep, so we're losing that building. It was only at 1 health, so it was definitely going down.
Friendly structure down.
That's annoying, but... I mean, I guess that's their mission, so they just focus on the objective. It's just kind of annoying because there's so many enemies and so few. You really can't stop that once the reinforcements drop in. Like, even if my guys had been up here, we still would have had those 3 down here we would have had to deal with, so... That's fine. For the moment, we're just going to finish dealing with these things, and we will go from there. So let's get... Let's see. I think we're going to have Strider come in and take out this guy in the back, the Panther 8Z. Yeah, exactly. Dropping missile mechs like right on top of the base that you're supposed to be defending makes it pretty much impossible to fully defend it. But that's okay. We'll make do. Alright, a little bit of sensor locking going on there. So with that, I think what we're going to do is we're over here and we're going to attack this sensor locked guy. Actually, we're going to do just him. What are we looking at over here? Wow, this Ignis actually has a lot of armor. That's kind of a bummer. So does he. Okay, I think we're just going to go for this fire starter. He's been sensor locked. He's got enough armor. Just one salvo is going to be enough. So let's just go full bore. Managed to take off one of its arms. That's its 2 small lasers. We got a turret here that's also going to shoot at it. Gonna make it unsteady as well. Okay, he's gonna be in trouble. Nice. Got a large laser that tagged him. And none of the other turrets did anything for some bizarre reason. Okay. He's gonna go next. He's going after the turret. I'm okay with that.
Standing by.
Let's get Succubus up in here. Let's take a look at this Jenner up close and personal. It's got some medium lasers. It's got pretty much no armor. Yeah, I was gonna say if we hit, it's whatever we hit is gonna blow up. So that worked. Nice. Torso, leg, both off. It hit the ground, so the torso explosion and hitting the ground, it should just have 1 health left. Yep. So 1 headshot would take that thing out. Not that we'll get the opportunity, I don't think, but still not a bad outcome when you get right down to it. Okay. Not sure why. I don't know. I really wish you could have some say over what the friendly tanks did on their turn, because like that, the machine gun's useless. I would much rather have it sensor locking things like every day of the week. But
Good to go.
that's okay. We don't get to make these decisions.
Going turbo.
Let's have the Panther run over here. Maybe we can finish off the Jenner. Worth a try at least. So it has. Actually, it's got a lot of health armor left there. Let's see if we can land a headshot. Nope. But we exposed the torso, so hopefully the turrets will be able to finish it off. I'm gonna have to get the other. I'm gonna have to get Strider back on top of the hill to help deal with some of the guys that are up there. I think Glitch and Succubus can handle what remains of these guys down here. They're kind of a joke at this point. I shouldn't say that. They can still definitely do something. I'm not as concerned about them. Let me put it that way. So this Panther up here is a PPC. Okay. Then it's our turn. Nice. So let's see. What are we working with here?
Aye, aye.
I want to keep Rebel moving a little bit to build up some evasion. She's not, that's not her strong suit really, so I don't want anybody to engage her if I can help it at all. So let's actually do a vigilance this. Yeah, let's do that. So if they do decide to shoot at her, she's taking earlier in the turn next turn. So nice. Alright, managed to take out the core on that fire starter, so he is no longer going to be an issue. Turret, sensor locking the tank here.
Yeah, Commander.
Strider. Oop, sorry, a little bit of camera wobble there. So I won't be able to get Strider in a position to help with the mechs up top at the moment. So I'm gonna jump her closer, and then we'll take some shots.
Locking on, Jordan.
I'll take that. Take some shots on the Jenner since it's on the
I
ground.
think I hit something good.
If we can kill it off faster, then it just means the turrets are going to prioritize some of their turrets. That's okay with me. Nice. Turrets unloading a bunch of missiles into that guy, so I'm happy about that. Kind of bummed that none of the turrets went after the Jenner that was on the ground, but you know. So only built in one evasion, so he should be a sitting duck for Glitch, so that's good.
Awaiting orders.
So let's have Succubus come over here and take out this Panther. He's got minimal armor, so really... There we go. I was going to say, any hit should do. I'm happy with that particular hit. He's going to fall. He lost a torso, so that's 2 damage. So you should just be sitting on 1 health left. So a lucky headshot takes him out. Another torso shot takes him out. Oh, okay then. I'm not sure what happened there, but he clearly failed his pilot roll to avoid falling damage, and he exploded. So I'm okay with this. Can't argue with that result. This Jenner should still be a decent target for Glitch, if I'm not mistaken, although he's moving pretty far. Taking some shots at Strider.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Yeah.
Moving out.
Do a PPC and SRM4, so let's try that. Alright, stability check failed. So he's done for. Got some Jenner parts on the field now. And we basically just have one, you just have this locust down here on the lower part of the hill. But pretty sure between Succubus and Glitch, that guy's done. So let's see what we can do here. Panther, I think we go for the Hunter tank at this point. It's already taken some damage from one of the turrets, so let's toss some more missiles at it. I'm not saying it's likely, it's technically possible. Or there you go. I guess if you've got 40 missiles, that's total of 180 possible damage. Worked pretty well. Yeah, definitely some good knockdowns. Knockdowns are great because they reduce the initiative, they reduce their aim when they get back up, they deal 1 damage to the pilot. So if you're able to do a couple more points of damage to the pilot, you take him out a lot faster, so it works out really well. That's actually how we were able to take out that Black Knight in the mission. When was that? It was, I think was it last episode or the episode before? We ended up fighting a Black Knight on a battle or an assassination or something like that, which was really unexpected and quite frankly a little bit scary. But we managed it because we kept knocking it over. I think we did enough headshot damage to it and everything like that that we finally took him out. We didn't end up salvaging him, sadly, because we just couldn't really afford to build a Black Knight even if we had gotten him. But nice, these turrets, man, they're bringing their A game all of a sudden. I'm happy about that. They can continue to do so. Says Panther's still got a PPC, he can still be dangerous. Although he's not firing it for some reason. Like, he didn't fire it last turn, didn't fire it that turn. I'm not sure what the deal is. Low chances here with Succubus on this Locust, but let's go and give it a try anyways. He did a lot of movements, he's got a lot of evasion. Succubus says, who cares about evasion? What's evasion? I'm just gonna run up there and kick it in the face with a 59% chance and crush it. Just absolutely crush it. Alright, this Ignis doesn't have a lot of health, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's get Succubus back up the hill. Or sorry, not Succubus. Let's get Glitch back up the hill. A little bit of a sprint. Bleed off some heat. Get her up in the tree so she's got cover and lots of evasion. I think she'll probably be out of it. I don't get the feeling that she'll get another turn, but I have been wrong before. And sensor lock? Okay, you did sensor lock. Not the person I would have chosen you to sensor lock, but I'll take it. I'm going to reserve here, let the turrets kind of do some work. Try to keep them up. These guys don't knock steady or anything like that. Or sensor lock works for me. Cool. I like it. Rebel's going to do her thing. Move a little bit. Stay inside the tree cover. And then just take out the torso. Yes, we were. It's a head hit. So the pilot was injured. Torso was taken out. Although it doesn't count head hits and torsos in one attack as separate points of damage to the pilot health, which kind of stinks because it means that you've got one fewer option to actually knock him out via pilot death. But you know, make do with what you can. Oh, missing an 84. That okay, Strider. Seriously, come on, we gotta talk. Like. Basically an 84%, 3 80%, and a couple 30%, or whatever the small lasers were. Like, I get those missing, but the rest of those should have been hits. That was unacceptable. And the tank coming in with the machine gun, just be like, yeah, I'm here too, I'm helping. Stole the kill there from our mechs, but that's okay.
Waiting for orders.
I'm actually really bummed about the that one building, because if it wasn't for that, we actually would have handled this pretty well otherwise.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Oh, man, Glitch really is not having luck with this PPC.
Commander,
And Succubus is all the way over here.
going to
Let's have her run up this road. It'll help her get a little bit closer. She's definitely not going to get another turn on an enemy. Like, if this tank is still rolling around by the time Succubus gets to it, I will be a little bit annoyed. Mildly impressed, but also a little bit annoyed.
receiving you.
Strider, you want to get in there and melee this thing to death? Actually, it's not even likely that we kill it with a melee attack, depending on where she hits. It's got a lot of armor in the front end. Alright, there we go. There we go.
Report.
3 turns left on the mission. All enemies destroyed.
Mission.
1 building destroyed, so no bonus. That's, that is what it is. Fine, whatever. But we should still be walking away with 300,000-ish C-bills, minus our drop costs, so maybe 250,000. That's not too bad. That's enough to give us 2 months' worth of operating costs. Oh, actually, I take that back. We did get a couple bonuses. A bonus for destroying the enemy vanguard, so the first lance that was there, and a 10% bonus for just getting the engineer APCs to the base defenses, which is kind of a gimme, unless they are drunk and drive off in a random direction like that first guy did. But either way, pretty good results. 319,000 C-bills. No real damage to speak of. We shouldn't have to worry too much about repairs. A good number of kills across the board, and we've got some salvage to choose from. Got an ER large laser. That's kind of cool. I don't know if there's anything we want to do with it, but I kind of like having it. A couple of fusion cores. That actually might be the way we go with this. 2 fusion cores is pretty valuable. And then we've got fusion cores that we can use on whatever mech we salvage. Oh, or, well, I think we're going to go targeting computer, because this gives you breaching shot, so you can ignore cover with a single weapon. +1 accuracy. It says 1 recoil with ranged weapons. I don't know if that imposes extra recoil, but it's a targeting computer, so you wouldn't think that that would make sense. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say -1 recoil with ranged weapons. I could be wrong on that, but, who knows. Marcus is calling dibs. What are you calling dibs on, Marcus? What looks good to you? What on the menu calls your attention? Probably those fusion cores, right? Just taking another look up the list. Got a lot of mech parts. Grab the computer. Yeah, okay. Glad you agree with me on that one. So I definitely want this, and then I think the next thing I want is I just want that Fusion Core 245. Like right off the bat, our salvage value is 2.6 million. That's not bad at all for the mission that we just took. And then we'll get 6 additional pieces of salvage. It'll probably be mostly junk, but hey, you can sell junk, so it's all good. We'll just have a little space yard sale. We'll just, unfurl a blanket out in front of the Argo, put all of our stuff on it, and wait for people to, drive up and decide to buy it. I just went with it. Okay, a couple of Firestarter K pieces, some flamers, small laser, jump jets, and then, of course, the stuff that we actually wanted. It's kind of a bummer we didn't get that other fusion core, but I almost never get fusion cores as a random pull. I don't know that I think in all the missions I've played in Roguetech, it's happened like maybe 3 or 4 times. So Usually I have to select those specifically. Yeah, we got an SRM2, woo! Or 2, or 3, or however. I don't even look because I just consider them to be liquidatable assets. But, you know, we got them, so that's not bad. 1 day for the repair, 8,000. So that's actually not bad at all. Looking at 93,000 sea bills, so just short of $1 million. Let's pass a little bit of time, just for the sake of getting our pilots back. Alright, and now the fact that Succubus poisoned, introduced an allergen to GV's food, doesn't really matter. He's back in action. Alright, Marcus, thanks very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. I will catch you in Storium, and we'll see where things go from there. So let me take a quick look. I want to see who does not have... Okay, so actually, the Centurion has a targeting computer. I gotta remember that, because that AC-5 with the breaching shot, that's actually really good. So to me, I think that that targeting computer should next... now that we've got a new one, or a second one, I think that should go here on the Enforcer. So we're looking at breaching shot, so whenever it's firing with that AC-2, it ignores cover, it ignores concealment. Pretty sure it ignores braced as well, so that's all good stuff. And then it's going to get +1 accuracy and should reduce the recoil, if I'm reading that right. So I'm really happy with that overall breakdown. Now, here's the next thing I'm going to do, and I know some people might disagree with me, but we've got this weapon mount. I'm going to put that on here, and I'm going to take these jump jets back off, because I mean, anything that's going to make it more likely for us to hit with this AC-2 at range is going to be a good thing. So technically we've got an AC-10 here we could try to switch this out with, but that's going to be really heavy. It's not worth it. We're going to do this. Final answer.
I'll let you know when
It's been
that's done.
decided. We got the... So the targeting computer's been used. Let's see here. Got a double heat sink, got the lower arm actuators, we've got some TTSs. We actually have a few fusion cores kind of sitting around. We'll probably sell the 100 and the 170 if we get short on cash, because they're just not very good. But we'll leave that for later. So we've got the 5 parts of the CN9. We've got Firestarter K, we've got the Spider, we've got a Panther 9 ALAG, which is the one we just finished, so I'm surprised we have a piece left over, but you know, it happens. It's like IKEA furniture. You put together a mech and you end up with an extra arm left over, and you're like, where did this come from? But, let's see. We've got Commando, we've got parts of a Wolfhound, actually. I wouldn't mind finishing that up if we can. The Commando 2C is still sitting here, kind of taunting me. The Griffin S7 is kind of sitting here taunting me. So I'm really hoping we run into another one of these 3 mechs in particular, and the Yenlo Wing. So those are the 4 mechs I really want to see. The Pirate Locust I could care less about. If we finish it, we're just going to salvage it and, you know, get some money. So that's the plan there. But that's what we're looking at as far as mech components. This is what we're looking at as far as what we've got in the mech bay at the moment. Uh-oh. I was going to pass some time to have that Enforcer ready for the next episode, but we got a warning. While in Galatea, you get a message from the commander of another mercenary company passing through. After some formalities, the message gets straight to it. My boys tell me you have Glitch on your crew. As one commander to another, I need to tell you Glitch is not a good hire. To be blunt, she's a thief and a backstabber, and only common decency had me leave her on a station instead of booting her through the airlock when I finally fired her ass. Be careful with your crew and keep in mind that a mech warrior with a bad reputation can bring down the reputation of your whole outfit. So, Glitch's past is kind of coming to bug her. We'll have to see how this kind of works into her story, because in her story she's a rookie in Storium, so she's a relatively new mech warrior, but here it's recommending that she's got some kind of background. So maybe this is not the case. Maybe this guy is trying to spread misinformation about Glitch. Maybe he hired her on briefly, didn't feel like he could trust her, kicked her out. I don't know. I'm gonna have to leave that up to Kai to figure out how they want to work that. But I think we're gonna talk to Glitch about the warning. I don't want to fire her for sure, and I don't want to delete the message. I think it's better to just approach this up front. There was already a bit of a discussion between the commander and Glitch in the Storium game about like where she fits in the crew and everything like that. So I think this will kind of reinforce that. Glitch sits on the edge of her seat, looking serious. I've never hidden my history, boss. I don't blame you for being worried, but I like it here, and I don't want to screw it up. Glitch has gained the following tags. Honest. Nice. Cool. I'm happy with that. That's a good outcome. We'll have to at least allude to that in the Storium game, if not outright focus on it as like a scene or like a little move or something like that. But you've heard me talk about the Storium thing a few times. I should probably have put the link up there in the chat so that folks could find it if they were curious as to what the heck I'm talking about. But there it is. So if you wanted to see what's going on behind the scenes, see what the crew is up to, get a look at the the sabotage subplot that's going on, you can go to the link that I just put up in the chat, check it out. If you want to, you can even actually sign on for a free Storium account, and you can claim a pilot. So you can actually become a character, you can end up in control of a character in the game. So we've got 3 pilots available. I think we've got Rebel, we've got Strider, and we have Medusa available. So you can come in and you can play any one of those 3. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, as always. I hope you will check out the Storium game because it's a really cool platform. If you like role-playing games, you like storytelling games, stuff like that, it's a really cool venue to get some of those creative juices going and participate in a cool little format. So yeah, check it out. Check us out again next week, Wednesday, 7, same channel, and we'll see where we go from there. Have a good week. Have a good night. See you later. And I said all that, did my whole sign-off, and didn't have the button to stop streaming ready to go. So, have a good one.